Riley, he's like Nick Saban in the NBA. He's a recruiter. And the Dallas Mavericks and Mark Cuban are going to make a hard push for Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi is going to be a free agent. Now, remember, first of all, Kawhi called Jimmy Butler before he called Paul George. That's a fact. He was interested first in playing with Jimmy Butler. He thought Jimmy was a better player than Paul George. Probably is barely.
Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. This is your first time to the channel. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get the newest and the bonus content. We put out content every day, so you won't miss any content here. So today's topic, I want to talk about how the media is trying to break up the Clippers and how the media is basically trying to destroy the Clippers. Everything the Clippers accomplished this season was good. They didn't win the championship due to injury. They didn't get to the finals due to injury, but they had a great season. But when I talk about how the media is trying to break up the Clippers, only thing you hear is Kawhi's leaving. There's some saying that Paul George possibly could be traded. You're hearing about Reggie Jackson, not coming back, and maybe a couple others not coming back. I mean, let's just pump the brakes some. Let's just see what happens in the offseason. Let's not talk about or speak it into existence. I mean, I think the media just doesn't want Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers because it's a really big threat to LeBron and the Lakers, who's getting older. And it's just a big threat to kind of like take over LA. And they just, not used to change. They don't want the Clippers to succeed. They don't want the Clippers to be the team that represents LA at any point in time. They want to keep the Clippers down. They don't want the Clippers to win any championships. So if they can put this notion out there that Kawhi Leonard's leaving and, he's going to Miami. It's possible he's going to Dallas. My thing is, you never heard Kawhi Leonard say any of these things. And if you don't hear from him, then you don't know how valid it is. And if you don't hear from his Uncle Dennis, you don't know how valid it is, since that's the closest person to him. And it's just a lot of notions and a lot of things coming out all the time. And they're just trying to throw different things out there because they want the Clippers to be broke up so this band won't be a strong team and they won't be a contender going forward. Because as much as the media always sits there and say, or have said the Clippers were pretenders and all that, they got a rude awakening in these playoffs. Because the Clippers were down every series in the playoffs and made a comeback in every series with or without their top player. So, they made a comeback with their top player in all the games, but they withstood a lot of, things when Kawhi went out and still kept moving on, which showed a lot of perseverance and a lot of resiliency in this team. And I think that's one thing a lot of people have to give them credit for, and what the Clippers have done this season. They've had a really good season. They finished up fourth seed. They could have probably went higher, but they elected to, work on their, look at their health more than actually the position they would be in. And it really worked out in their favor. It's just that the injury gods came and, some players got hurt and some players got taken out and they just didn't have, all their weapons. And they just got fatigued at the end because it's like when you put more work on another guy and is asked to do more when he's not used to doing more, that can really be a huge workload. And that's what the Clippers went through. That's what they suffered, in these playoffs, because everybody know the Suns are just in the finals because of injury. Because if Kawhi wasn't hurt, trust me, the Suns, they wouldn't be in the finals. Hell, I mean, if the Lakers weren't hurt, the Suns wouldn't be in the finals. They wouldn't have got past the first round. So it's like, you could look at a lot of things, but, in all, I think the media is just trying to really, break this team apart because they know what potential this team has and how good this team really is. And this team really carries a lot of pride and, everything and how they approach the game and how they play. And what we saw in these playoffs was sensational to see a team battle through adversity in every series and find their way back and win them. The only reason why I didn't win the last one because, like I said, they didn't have Kawhi Leonard, their best player. But they had their best player. It would be the Clippers and the Bucks in the finals, no doubt about it. So my thing is, the media, Stephen A. Smith and all them, stop putting the Woj and Adrian Wojnarowski, any one of them, stop putting these reports out about this Dallas Mavericks and all this stuff. I don't believe Kawhi is going to Dallas. Out of all teams, I don't believe he would go there. And I'm not saying, when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, you shouldn't rule anything out with him. But at the same time, I personally don't see the Dallas Mavericks. Him and Luka, I don't know how good of a fit that would be anyway. It wouldn't be a bad one, but I don't think it would be a great one. And besides, they're just getting a new head coach and Jason Kidd, and the pieces that they have around them are pretty good, but not good enough for a championship. I don't see it. But then again, Kawhi can make any team pretty much a championship team. But at the same time, I don't see the comparison. I don't see the point of him leaving L.A. when he fought to get to L.A. for years. Went to Toronto. He didn't want to be there because it's too cold. And, it's pointless. And then, to me, you might as well stay with the Clippers because, you already built a foundation there. And a lot of people in, Clipper land are behind you, 100%. So, and you already went through this, with the team and everything and the adversity in the playoffs, and y'all really responded really well. So I would just, probably stick with the Clippers or something like that if I was Kawhi. The Miami Heat thing, I'm not too sure about that. I'm pretty sure he wanted to play with Jimmy Butler, but going to Miami, it's an attractive place. It's got the weather is always good for the most part, but at the same time, when you're home in L.A. and California, it's no place else to really be except home. And that's what Kawhi Leonard fought for, so I don't see him leaving to go there. So keeping it in L.A. is pretty much what I see, but we'll see how it goes. You never know with Kawhi Leonard. I'll give you that. You don't want to rule anything out. But at the same time, I don't see any other options. As far as Paul George, I've said before, if they were going to trade Paul George for like a Damian Lillard or somebody like that, or maybe a Stephen Curry or, somebody of that caliber, you take it. But if it's nobody of that caliber, no, keep Paul George. I personally think they should just run it back the way they were or the way they are now because they came really close. Without injury, they're in the finals. Let's just keep it real. So, I would just run it back the way you already have it. I like the nucleus they have. I definitely would keep Reggie Jackson because he's definitely their consistent third guy. It's no doubt about that now. So I would run it back the way they had it. But, of course, you got to see how the season plays out and everything. But I definitely run it back the way they had it, though, because what they have right now is a strong nucleus and a strong team that is resilient and that is ready to make a run and that's hungry. You know what I'm saying? So when a team is hungry and they can taste it, they can taste the finals and they were that close, they know they have the potential and the opportunity and the skill set and the players and the coaches and the organization. They know they have it all to get to their destination. And the Clippers do. They showed this year they have it all to get to an NBA Finals. So there's no need to blow it up or break up the band, keep the band together, forge forward, and make another run at it. Because LeBron is getting older, and he'll be another year older, and Anthony Davis is always been injury prone. So you have a chance to get to the finals. Because then again, you got to look at it. Chris Paul's going to be a year older after this year. Devin Booker's getting better, but he's still young. Who knows how Jamal Murray's going to come back. Jokic is good, but he can be stopped. The Suns showed you how to do that. They swept them, even though Jokic was the MVP. There's really nobody else in the West that I can see that can contend with them. Donovan Mitchell's not even sure whether he's going to be in Utah or not, or wants to come back. So there's confusion there. So the Clippers, really they have a good opportunity. So just stick with what you got and keep the band together if I were you. But that's just my take on the situation. But like I said, I would just keep the same team, but I mean, I don't know what offseason moves they're going to make. I don't know what the salary cap is like in regards to Steve Ballmer, what he thinks and how he thinks the team should be ran and who he thinks should still be there. You know, he's the boss, so we have to see exactly what he thinks about everything and how the whole operation is going to go. But I don't want to hear too much about all this breakup and all this stuff. I just feel like the media is trying to blow the team up already, and the team just fresh off a loss in the previous round of the playoffs, and they're already talking about Kawhi Leonard leaving, breaking up the band, and where's Reggie Jackson going. The media just does too much, especially when it comes to this team. And I just want to see this team stick together and see where it goes from here. But hey, you know, like I said, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think about the whole situation and what the media is saying and everything like that and how you feel about it. And leave any comments in the comment section. We could talk about it as always. And Khaliis out.